which is an interesting aspect because I kind of got this game on a deal, so it's actually a lot more cheaper than I expected. But win some, lose some. I mean, actually, it's a total win for me. I don't know why I said that, but whatever. Either way, I'll be flying solo today because the group is out for the moment. Carrying on with our lives because we all got busy times, and also I'm really bad at uploading content, so I'm going to try and keep actually getting things up on a weekly basis, hopefully daily basis, but right now, with my time that I have will be weekly. Anyway, so technically speaking, I've actually beaten both these games currently now, time-wise. I'm just now trying to actually get to putting the videos out and putting the recordings out. I will say this much. Both these games actually surprised me, and I'm now actually looking forward to Digimon Survive, which when I get that game, when it comes out in a week, or not even a week, about 4 days, I will be playing that and putting that online also. So, I cannot wait for that. For this story in particular, if I had to give like a rating from 1 to 10, I would honestly have to give it like an 8.5. I will say this, Hacker's Memory to me was more of a 9, even though there's some things I don't agree with it, but like I said, we'll get to that when that time comes, and I will not spoil anything, but I will talk about certain aspects about the story that kind of just seem to be slightly off-putting. So, I do have to give it props though, because if you compare it to like the other games such as Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, Digimon seems to have the better stories. Also, I'm just playing this game normal. I am not here to play on super difficult settings. I'm here to just play the game, enjoy the game, talk about the game. Some games I might do difficult settings, like I might, if time permits, or if I feel like it, I'll probably end up doing Kingdom Hearts 2 run on critical mode. Might even do level 1 because I've actually never done that. I've done critical mode before, never done level 1, so might do that. But aside from that though, well, I guess the question of the day, if you could have a Digimon, which one would you have? Like, you have to be one of the starters, because obviously from the starters you could evolve it to something, multiple things. If you can't tell by now, even after playing this game, I still don't know all the Digimon. There's way too many of them. But for me, if I had to take a gander as to which Digimon I'd probably have, out of all of them, I'll probably do Gowamon, which you will see way later on. Only because there's actually a manga I read. It was one of the first Digimon mangas that I ever have read, because I was into reading a lot of the mangas for like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Which Yu-Gi-Oh! If you've never read the original manga for Yu-Gi-Oh! I'd really highly recommend reading it. It's really good. But Gowamon was in one of the mangas I read, and his human character that took care of him, that also was like his, I guess you would call him a Digimon master, I guess. I have no idea what you call them, the people who wield Digimons, but yeah, he had that Digimon, and I always thought it was really cool. I always thought Gowamon was really cool, especially its evolution line, I thought it was really cool. And apparently I think that Digimon also makes an appearance in the Digimon Savers anime, which I apparently need to watch, because apparently that was actually a lot darker and more interesting than I thought it was. So, that's something interesting to watch. I'll see in the future. I really like the animation of him just sawing a hole into his cyberspace. Like, why was that necessary? Why can't he just pop in? Why do you have to saw a hole into it? I get why, because technically speaking, it's like he kind of hacked in, but not really. It's weird, but at the same time, it's an interesting aspect. Also, I like the little animation they did with the characters. I wonder if that's what's going to become the future of VR, and have like small little animation characters in this little room talking. What if VR did come by? Like, I guess not necessarily VR, but like, I don't know, kind of like the Sword Art Online stuff, like what's next level where your whole body comes into it and people just lament to becoming small little icons and talking as small little icons for no apparent reason. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. also, I guess, not necessarily a spoiler warning, but a warning in general, in a sense. This game does get decently dark, so if you're not fond of dark games, or you're not fond of things that get, I don't know, messed up, whatever, probably shouldn't watch this. You know, it's weird. Why didn't we really speak that much at all? Like, we barely even said a few words in the entire thing. I think actually we even only really said one, maybe two. I'll have to watch that scene to remember. But if theoretically speaking, they were supposed to be a group chat that are all quote-unquote friends, so wouldn't you be speaking more story-wise? I don't know. I'm just being nitpicky right now, I guess. But as you can predict, we're gonna go and try and, well, see if we can get a Digimon, because that seems like the smart thing to do. A random thing hacks into your private server, and you're just like, yeah, let's go and try and get a Digimon, because why not? Because that's just a great idea. Obviously I'm changing the name to Lou, because if you didn't know, the channel is called Big Cat Lou, so Lou is the nickname. Would like to do Big Cat Lou in total, but just not gonna happen. I like the animations that they have in this game also, which is, the animation's pretty top tier. I'm talking about like the more animated scenes, that is for gameplay wise, and their animations. I mean, the animation gameplay is also pretty good too, especially because each of the Digimon have their own little special move. 1 to 2 of them, or 1 to 2 moves, and they have an actual unique animation for each of those moves, which is kind of unprecedented when games that have this big of a roster size for monsters. If you compare it to like Pokemon, where Pokemon there's only like very rarely specialized animations for some moves, and even then it's like on the smaller side. With Digimon, I want to say there's easily 300 plus Digimon in this game, and every single one of them has a specialized animation, except for I think except for maybe some of the baby Digimon. But even then, I think some of them, I think they still do actually have specialized animations. Our character looks so happy. He had such a smile on his face. I don't know why, but he did. Also, another thing about this game too, it compares a lot to Persona in a sense, where it's just like the characters have their own, not the character himself, but like all the other characters you interact with have like more growth to do over the story, and like they have backstories like that, and it like really goes into depth how it is. I kind of wish they did. Well, they do this in Hacker's Memory, so Hacker's Memory kind of fixed the problem that I was getting complained about, but basically I kind of wish they had more interaction with the characters, but like I said, Hacker's Memory, which is the second game, fixed that, so. Which also, by the by, CyberSleuth and Hacker's Memory is, as if you could tell beforehand, they are interconnected stories, but you will not see any of the main characters from Hacker's Memory in CyberSleuth, but you will see the main characters from CyberSleuth and Hacker's Memory. Also, another thing too, obviously right now you're trying to figure out how to get to Kulon right now, and you have to talk to a bunch of people, but the whole thing is with this, Eden, like, think about it now, and I'm trying, like I said, I'm not gonna give spoilers, because this goes slightly into spoiler territory without really, kinda. Why would the owners of Eden allow for a hackers group to even persist? Like, I feel like they would have total control of the URLs and forums that they go to, so they should be able to destroy it. Why allow them persist? That makes, to me, it seems like a double-edged sword to allow them to persist, because you don't know what they're going to do to people's accounts, stuff like that, and how much stuff they could destroy in the same sense. But that's like the one that didn't make any sense. They knew about the Eden's owners, or I guess the corporate owners, because it's Kamashiro, and I think they already mentioned it, but they haven't. It's not really a spoiler. Kamashiro Enterprises owns Eden in this game, and my whole thing is just they knew about the hackers from the get-go, and they should have been able to. There should have been a way to trace exactly who, what, when, where, and why, when you have total control of the entire server and virtual program. So I'm wondering, why didn't they stamp out the hackers? They honestly just left them devices. I know it's on the same thing as like the internet we have now, but I feel like this is more complex, but they also should have more of some type of way of tracking things. Or maybe I'm just being facetious. Also, they reuse models a lot in this game, but I'm mostly okay with that because this game was like 50-ish, or not like 50-ish, more like it was 30 to 50 hours, somewhere around there long, so I can understand the reuse of some models, but not a big deal. It's like it's a minor complaint that I really don't care about. You can't have completely 100% unique characters every 5 seconds and everywhere, because otherwise it can eat up too much space and cause loading problems and etc, etc. Also, I'm going back to pick up the shiny thing back there, but I'm gonna say this again. If I haven't stated this, or I'll state it now, this is a just a let's play of the game, and secondly, it's my first time playing. It is my first time playing through the game, so I am not 100%ing this game. And if you want me to do something like the more DLC stuff, because you get the DLC stuff free with this, and you're gonna see I think in the first episode, or maybe the second episode, you'll see I get a bunch of Digimon because of the DLC that's already incorporated into this version. Then I can do all of them. I do remember that I did some of the DLC cases, but I didn't do all of them. There was like, I want to say 8 in total that I didn't do. But if you guys want me to do it, just comment below, do the rest of the DLC cases, and I'll do them in one short side of a video. There'll probably be no commentary of it, because we'll just be doing the DLC. Also, not including the first 2 episodes, but after the first 2 episodes, I will start editing out just random battles. After like a certain number of battles, I'll probably say about 5 battles, because there's no need to see every single random battle, because this game is almost like Zubats when it comes to random battles. Back to the game though, talking wise, right now, character-wise, we're just exploring the areas and determining, like, where we should go. Stuff like that. Seriously, I just don't know why he decides to do this, because it just makes no sense. And then on top of that, he got his phone hacked, so now they can call him just randomly, and it's just like, why? So this game gives you a lot of choices. Some of these choices do matter because they can net you items, but other times it changes either people's perception of you, or you just get an interesting little tidbit of a conversation. And it's something too that I like that they added, where you have to actually talk to random people to get the information. But to help you out is they give you like a lock on their head that tells you, hey, go talk to this person, hey, go talk to that person. normally I'm pretty cool with it, except for later on in the game there's like this one side mission, you'll hear me rant about it, it's just really stupid when this comes into play, but I'll rant about that when the time comes. Right now it's not such a big deal. Also, surprisingly, I actually don't get lost too much in this game, as unlike the Breath of Fire series and Persona series I've been playing through, I do not get too much lost in that. Also, speaking of Breath of Fire, and I should have bring that segue on one Breath of Fire game, but I'm probably, after I finish Breath of Fire 4, I will probably not be doing another Capcom game, because this is the second time I got copyright claimed for something I had no control over. And it's like, it'd be one thing if it's just music, but it's not just music, it's like a minute from a certain time frame from each of the clips. It didn't happen again in the second one. I'm just getting kind of tired of that because it's kind of annoying. The reason why I went past the hacker, because I knew if you talked to the hacker, he was like the right choice, but I wanted to see what other people said. Also, they do a lot of puns and jokes in these characters. Like, some of the character names are like just really stupid, and some things they say are just pretty hilarious. So always keep an eye out for like either the name or like what they say. And I think it kept a pretty decent speed this time with like clicking, but I have a jumpy hand. Also surprised we can get robbed by the hacker right there. Oh hey, here's the URL to the perfect place. Go to URL. Oh, now I'm gonna steal your information. Literally could have did that. Why didn't he? I do not know. And there's one of the characters. And there's another one. And this character is Nokia. I have mixed feelings about our character. She has some interesting growth, and I also do like how much she does change throughout. She's not like one of those. She's not like, and I hate doing this, I'm not trying to throw Sakura under the bus, but she's not like Sakura from like Naruto in a sense, where Nokia does start off kind of useless in the beginning, but she actually does become useful later on and actually tries her best later on. And I'm not going to get into how or why, but she does change throughout the story, and I liked about her. Her character though seems a bit obnoxious to me, and that never really changes. But I don't hate her. She's a good character in the end. And our second character, Atara, who is the Atara. Atara is, which I'm probably pronouncing his name horribly wrong, but he is also a mysterious character who goes through a lot of growth too, and I hate and love his character at the exact same time. But he is a unique character, I'll give him that. So far, like, especially playing through both the games, Digimon's characters that I've seen in far, and I'm just speaking from these two games, because like I said, these are the only two games I've played. The first time playing through them, I don't really actually see a bad character like someone who's just badly designed. Each of the characters also seem really unique and have their own aspects to them that make them just charming in their own way. Or obviously, there's some things you just might dislike. Like I said, Nokia is just stupidly annoying. I'm sorry, she's really annoying, but she's not a bad character though. She's just really annoying. And speaking of which, another aspect, I still don't understand why we did this. Like, I know why we did it, but it's one of these, like, this is like the one thing, and I think I talked about in another video, this is my gripe with storytelling, it's just like, don't make your character do a really stupid decision to get the story started. Like, this is a straight up stupid decision, like, beyond reason. If I were had to think about a way to get the story started, what they could have done was from that point where he got hacked at, the hacker could have actually just given them the Digimon right then and there, and then I'll explain why, or I won't explain why, I'll let the video or the game show why getting a Digimon is slightly bad. But he could have just given it to them when he hacked in that room. If you already hacked in the account, it takes me, I know it's not eating, but he should be looking into there to their accounts and then actually edit it. Because they've all been hacked like that right then and there. So it wouldn't have been too problem. And yeah, this is the problem why. So Digimon capture, which they're about to explain, I'll talk about it some more. Yeah, so Digimon capture basically is, as you can guess from the name, allows you to get Digimon in a sense. But if you have that program on your account or on your phone or anything that goes to it, basically it automatically labels you in Eden as a hacker. And so being labeled as a hacker obviously is a bad thing. You don't want to necessarily be labeled as a hacker right away, so it's again another interesting aspect where I feel like if they were just going to go that route with Mr. Navi was just going to throw the Digimon program onto them, why didn't he do it in the first place when he hacked them in the what's it called, the chatting room? He could have just thrown the program on there, and then from there he could have forced them to come there, because they would have probably made more sense for them all to go there, because they would probably been trying to get the hacked program off them, or figure out what to do, or just get scared from, I don't know, getting a program hacked onto them. But basically, I feel like it would make more sense for Mr. Nabbit, or whatever Mr. Nabbit is, to have done his hacking and putting the program on them at the same time when he broke into the private chat. But I will say the characters are rather smart, because Atara is already trying to get rid of the program any way he can, but obviously, because of plot reasons, he can't touch it. Conveniently, there's a firewall that's preventing them from ground. I said conveniently, but mainly it's because probably Mr. Nabbit, or whoever Mr. Nabbit actually is, um, put that there. And now we're in the tutorial stage. Because we need tutorials. Yeah. Another question too, what is your least favorite Digimon? Mine used to be this one from the movie, like the original Digimon movie, or not the original one. I guess like the second one, the one where you had Vivi's Armor Evolution, I think Magnamon, I think is what it's called, and then you had Terrier's Armor Evolution, which is Golden Rapamon or whatever, or Armor Rapamon, whatever the thing was called. When they were fighting the evil Kirpymon, that used to be my... I did not like that Digimon at all. Like, that Digimon scared me. I mean, to be fair, I was a kid when I watched that movie, but for some reason that Digimon just scared me. So it used to be my least favorite. But now after playing through the games and knowing a lot more Digimon, I don't think I have a least favorite right now. He's staring into your eyes. Yeah, it's a little too late to talk about when you get out of there, but it is what it is, I guess.
どうした？まるで幽霊でも見たような顔だ。僕そっくりの幽霊を見たって。
Here is our next character, which I will not say his name until his name pops up, but he is a very interesting character. He's rather unique. His growths are also really interesting. There's a lot of unique things to say about him. He's just a really interesting character. Leave it at that right now.
僕がただ神出鬼没なだけ。そんなところだ。安心するといい。僕は幽霊じゃない。このエデンにちゃんと実在しているよ。君のような迷い子を導くためにね。
I do like his expressions. That's something I should actually touch on. A lot. Each of the characters have their own like movement expressions when they're like talking in the during the story parts of the game, and I kind of like the aspect that they try and make sure the expressions match who the character is, not just what they're feeling, but who the character also is. As for the ghastly boy, which I don't remember when they actually reveal his name, but I know it's soon. He has more conservative movements, showing how he's like more concealed, more reserved, like a calm person aspects, which is actually, I find that really cool. It's just small little movements that like also make a huge difference in how the character acts and speaks, which is really cool.
その様子だと ひな鳥どころかまだ卵から帰ってもいないようだ。ハッカーを目指すか。
Yeah, and they treat being a hacker like you're like some type of
それは君の自
murderer
由さ。
almost. I only say that because it's just like
だが
the way he's talking, he's like trying to compare it to like his almost Persona, and like the comparison be Persona 5.
君はハッカー
Your
に興味を抱いて
rehabilitation
ここ
through
まで来た。
Digimon. They become even more of a criminal, or you
デジモン
become
キャプチャーを手に
less something that's
そう
good.
だったら試してみるか。デジモン
Use the power of the Digimon.
驚く
Use the Force, Luke Skywalker. Use the Force.
それでいい。では未来のハッカーの誕生を祝して君に記念すべき1体目のデジモンを進呈しよう。ほら君の後ろにいる。
And in all type of fashion, the ghastly boy becomes the Professor Oak of this game. He gives you your first Digimon. You can choose from 3. Take a guess to figure out which one I chose. If you guessed the cactus, you were wrong. If you guessed the machine, you were also wrong. I got Terriermon because Terriermon is the most adorable thing ever. Little pudgy body. And those big ears. Honestly, I actually just got him because I actually knew that Digimon pretty well. I knew the cactus one, but I just didn't care for it. I knew Terriermon pretty well only because of, again, the movie. Now I gotta look at that movie it's called. I know it has Magnamon in it, but I knew it because of that movie. And then so I was like, oh, Terriermon, I actually know that one. Let me get that one because I know it. Well, it's just called Digimon the movie. Yeah, I've not seen that in forever. I need to watch it again. Yeah, I really need to watch it again. I have not seen this movie in forever. But yeah, I knew Terriermon from that movie somehow, which I still remember that movie, which that movie came out in 2000. Oh man, I was a wee lad when that came out. No wonder I was scared by Kirby-mon. And it gives you the full, the Ghastly Boy gives you the full rundown of like, Pokemon are meant to save, not to hurt. Don't use it for evil purposes. I mean, I always said Pokemon, Digimon, but you know what I mean. Also, what he was talking about, the scan thing, so to quote-unquote capture Digimon, you have to encounter the Digimon at least, well, depending on the percentage-wise, several times for it to get up to 100% or even 200%. Normally, ideally, you want to go to the 200% side because that gives you more ABI, and ABI is a whole different ballpark ballgame. It's just brutally annoying. But the more, to put it simply, the more ABI, the better. It helps out with stats and a bunch of other things too. But anyway, that's what he was talking about, running a scan. You basically, you'd have to scan, in this case, Terriermon, like I think 5 times. I think Terriermon is an encounter rate, or a scan rate of like 20% automatically. I think. Can't remember. And then we're showing the concern for the Digimon, because I must protect all the Digimon. If I can't, if a single one gets hurt, my heart shall explode. That's how we, that's our character right now. And the Ghastly Boy being like, it's a program. why are you doing this? Actually, that brings me to another question. Do you consider Digimon just to be programs, or do you consider them to be actual life-living things? Because technically, even though they have their own attributes and own, I guess, feelings about certain things in life, they technically still are a digital program in the end. They consist of a program. I mean, technically they come from another world, but for that world to exist, it's a digital world, and on top of that can exist in our world, it has to be through a digital program. So, in that aspect, do you consider Digimon to be real, lifelike things, or just a digital program?
とんでもない卵だな。デジタルモンスターに丸腰で挑むつもりか。
Like how he just teleports next to you.
本当に物好きだよ、君は。いや。
The ghastly boy has gotten the instant transmission technique he stole it from Goku. Probably broke Goku's neck in the process too while he stole it. Ghastly boy for the win! Another thing too, just hypothetical. I don't know why I'm asking like so many questions, but another hypothetical question: would you actually trust a guy in like all white that came up to you? I would not. The guy in all white came up to me and started telling me like programs and a bunch of other things too. I was treated as like, this guy is crazy and he's about to kill me. I don't want to die today. I mean, we just apparently have very trusting instincts, I guess, but even then still it's just, but why though? It's like one of those anime scenes where the guy sees the villain for no apparent reason, or doesn't even realize the dude's a villain, but just sees him and just starts charging him to attack him. It's just like, but why though? But that's the time that's on the scan. So you saw I went to 15%. Technically speaking, as long as you get up to 100%, you can go into another place, which you will find out later, and you can convert the Digimon into being, and you take it to Digimon. So unlike Pokemon, where you just throw a Pokeball at it and hope you catch it, or just keep spamming it until you do catch it, you just have to encounter the Digimon several times, and that's how you do it. Furthermore, too, as you can see, we have his Machine German, if I remember what it's called, helping us. When you have an ally with you, normally, if they have a Digimon, they will have the Digimon help you in combat, but you don't get to control it, it just does what they want to. So, it's pretty interesting. Look at Terrymon being adorable. But, also, whenever your Digimon kills something, or like kills like the main thing, it becomes the little screen of it, like little dancing, a little animation. It being adorable. You cannot tell me that is not the face of adorableness. I mean, it's not as adorable as like a Blissey, but damn straight it's adorable. Look at that little animation. Look at him waving.
Digimon capture のスキャンを介さずにデジモンが手に入ることは稀だ。ましてや、プログラムが人に懐いた。
The hero. The chosen hero, okay? I need autographs and flaps. You're free from your shell now. Your persona has now awakened. Fight. Live. Go into the new world. For I am cat to planet. Now I shall leave. Young man with nasty look in his eye. That's a pretty messed up way to describe a Tara. Oh yeah, I really forgot how long they don't tell you his name. Just like, they really just keep the thing Ghastly Boy up there for the entire time. So look at Terrymon being adorable. I'm not gonna stop mentioning its cuteness until it Digivolves, which I do Digivolve later in the series, but which makes me sad. But
ハッカーであればどうということはない。そうだな。ここから帰りたくなったらそのログアウトゾーンを使うといい。目つきの悪い彼なら問題なく解除できるはずだ。彼の腕が落ちていなければね。なぜ驚く？
don't tell me he hasn't told you. Ah,
彼から何も聞かされていないのか？なら
in that case, it's not my story to tell. Better to hear it directly from him. I don't know why I'm doing voiceovers, so this just makes no sense, but that goes back to someone other. Oh yeah, finally he introduced himself. I don't know why this took so long. I feel like this should have been like one of the first things that you would hear. This conversation probably lasts for at least 30 minutes minimum. And you didn't even say your name once. I mean, I feel like that's a thing. I don't know. Anyway, his name's Yugo. Yugo is a very interesting character, as I said before. His story is pretty unique. I do like, again, like I said, I finished this game, so I know all the ins and outs of the story. And if I had to choose a favorite character out of like, or make a tier list of favorite characters, Yugo is probably second. My favorite one's another character that is not coming in. When he does come in, I will introduce him. And more tutorials, because I told the tutorial once, told you tutorial twice, now we need to shove it down your throat even more. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was turning down the volume because if you couldn't tell, well, probably might not be able to because by modifying it, the sound is not gonna overbear on my voice, but yeah. Oh yeah, I have to go back and get Nokia because plot. And then the mascots. Agumon and Gabumon, I think is how you pronounce their names. I have no idea. We all know Gabumon's the best. His adorable little horn, he's the best one. No cap. All facts. They're just being adorable, just circling Nokia for some reason. Yeah, Agumon and Gabumon. Yes, I was right, Gabumon. Agumon, Gabumon. You all know Gabumon's the most adorable. Yeah, you can now see why I kinda don't like Nokia. But yeah.
もうどこ行ってたの？
うわ、また怖い人？
追いかけ回されるのはゴリゴリだ。ちょっと落ち着いて。この子友達だから。
Also, the reason if you couldn't tell about the running is because chasing around because of scanning. So
あの可愛い物体 X は。っていうかあれ、君が連れてるそのの子がデジモン？
look at his
じゃあ
not affirming
さっきのあの
nod.
子たちもデジモンなんだ。
Yes.
けどそのデジモンもあの子たちも悪そうなプログラムには見えないよね。デジモンか。
Also, I think I said this in another video, but I didn't. But before playing this game, I made a prediction that somehow, some way, shape, or form, the digital world was going to collide with the real world in some way, shape, or form. Because this always happens in every Digimon story or arc line. Something, somehow, some way, some shape, some form, the digital world crashes into the real world every single time. And that is my prediction beforehand. You can tell me if I'm right or wrong when you watch the rest of the series, but that is like their main storyline. I don't know why it's such a main storyline, but it is. And no, you cannot count this as getting lost, because even though it seems like it was lost, I was not. I knew what I was doing. I was doing the gamer check, where you just check back areas. Actually, as Digimon Skater now explains it, they talk about the Digilab right there. The Digilab, we won't get access to until a bit later on. By a bit, I mean just a little bit. But yeah. I do some grinding a little bit later on to get some more Digimon, because Koromon, if you didn't know, evolves into Agumon, but also several different evolutions you can go into, but Agumon being one of the more key ones, so, yeah. Also, that is a character from, Hacker's Memory. I don't know why they showed him there. I don't know why they didn't have their own animation of just CyberSleuth running around, but no, they showed the Hacker's Memory guy, because I don't know why. But yeah, like I said, starting in episode 3, that's probably when I'll do it. Not episode 2. Well, actually, no, I might start with episode 2. Yeah, episode 2 I will start taking out all the not all of them, but like most of the extra fights that aren't a storyline fight or aren't like a miniature boss fight. I say miniature boss fights because, not really a spoiler, but this game you do a lot of quest, and the quest tend to lead to some boss fights happening. So yeah. Also, just saying right now, the fetch quests, any quest that is just like a fetch quest from a Digimon, because I'll get into those, explain more of those later when the time comes. I'm just gonna get rid of those quests because they're the most boring quest ever. I don't need to go pick up a medallion or item that you lost that literally is 5 feet from you that you somehow can't see. And you think I'm joking, but no. There's some of the Digimon, which actually I will find one of those and I will keep it and I'll show it to you, where they're like, I need you to find this item that I lost, and it's literally 2 steps away from them. I'm just like, why did you call me? So, but that'll come in due time. But I think I run backwards, if I remember correctly, to go check out the other place where that guy is sitting in front of. Which is also going to pose another question too. When I get to him, when I speak to him. Also, this guy over here, I have no idea how to pronounce his name. He evolves into Gabumon and a bunch of other Digimon too, but later on I do grind for both him and Koromon, because I want to get Agumon and Gabumon as soon as possible. But I think I failed at getting them because you need, I think, Cam for both of them, and Cam is not hard to get, but it's annoying to get, especially early game, because it's annoying. So,
いてくれてよかった。
So, story-wise, there will always be some random hacker dude sitting in front of a firewall, and he will not allow you to progress past that firewall. My whole thing with this is, why could we not just kick his ass to go further? Don't get me wrong, like, I understand right now we don't have the strength, but later on in the game, you can get some pretty powerful Digimon without even having to try. My whole thing is, if you have the powerful Digimon, why can't you just kick their ass and go forward? I mean, I guess for story reasons I can understand why, at the same time it's just like, I feel like this is stupid. Why can't I throw hands? I want to get past them, I'll throw hands. But no, for story reasons, you're not allowed to go past them. So now I went back to where theoretically, Atara is at.
なんだか不思議な感じだな。子供の頃にこんなことがあった気がするんだよね。君と新とも会ったことがあるような。昨日チャットで会ったとかそういう意味じゃなくって。あれ？
Are they the Digi-destined? The 6 people there to hold a Digivice? Are they? Actually, I don't think you ever actually have a Digivice in this game, like, literally in your hand. You have the program, I don't think you ever show a Digivice. I think they just stopped the Digivice thing. Get ready to keep seeing that flashback for like 17 times this entire story, because you don't get the actual answers to that until like towards the end of the story. So, I will not spoil it, but I will tell you, you're going to see that flashback like 17 freaking times. Well, 17 is pretty much a higher number. I think it's like more like 8 or 10 times you see it, but... The ghost boy. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. He disappeared in cyberspace. Because he's a ghost. He can instant transmission without beating up Goku, unlike Yugo, who had to beat up Goku to get his instant transmission skill. Yes, and somehow Arara, I think it's Arara, Arata, anyway, also saw that image too. I am never gonna get his name right, am I? This is gonna bother me. I'm gonna cry about this. And this is an eater. Because we already have enough weird things in it. Actually, thinking that's technically a spoiler, so sorry. I'll probably cut that out. Actually, no, I won't cut it out. You can pretty much tell it's an eater at this point. Not too much of a spoiler, just calling it an eater. And he uses this triple screen attack to break through and unlock the gate. But Nokia freezes in its place.
キアを守る。
逃げてノキア。
But they'll actually explain that later, or she'll talk about later why she was frozen in place. But we get our first actual battle, or second battle, I guess, third, fourth, storyline battle. There we go. And if you can tell, we're doing jack shit to it. Because it is too powerful.
Baby flame.
Also, I think only on hard mode, I think your partners can die. I don't think they can die on easy mode or normal mode. At least, I don't think I've ever seen them die in normal mode, and I've seen some serious damage to them. I don't think they ever die.
よし、ロックを解除した。ログアウトできるぞ。おいノキア、早く。
でもあの子たちがまだ。
わかんねえのか。足手まといはお前なんだよ。お前が逃げおおせりゃあいつらはどうにでもなるんだ。おい、ノキアはログアウトした。俺も続く。お前も急げ。いいな。
We got nabbed.
僕たちを見つけて。
Find us. Let's be cryptic. And now, we're a blue blob. Yay. Because science.
ねえちょっと。
なんだよあいつ。気味悪い。
こら天下の行動のど真ん中で何騒いでんだ。
ああ、不敬さんこっちに。
誰が不敬さんだ。誰が刑事さんだ。刑事さん。見た目だけで物事判断してんじゃねえ。なんだありゃ。キモ。
You're getting arrested because you're gross. Imagine if police could arrest you like that. You know how scary that would be? Legitimately, I thought when I first watched this scene, I thought that girl, kind of spoiled, I guess, there's a girl in the car. I thought she was gonna ram us and somehow not kill us, and then we would join the team that way. I did not expect her to just actually pull up next to us and let's join that normally.
乗りたまえ。厄介なことになる前に。おい待てその車。止まらねえの逮捕すっぞ。こら。
But it's actually a pretty nice car that she has.
人よりは奇妙な現象に慣れている方なんだな。こんな現象は初めて見たよ。私の声は聞き取れているかな。話はできるかい。それはよかった。君がもし
Which also brings a good question if we weren't human in this case and she just picked us up without thinking twice about it.
そうか。君自身
It's one of those things where you should think before you act, but in this case, she's a total act before you think. Although she's actually a rather smart character. We're gonna be working with her for a while. Not to get too much into the story aspects, but she's a really, really smart character. Let's just put it that way. She is the smarticles. Smarticles? Motifs? Smarties? Rada rada.
ここは新宿だ。仕事で探し物をしていてね、偶然通りかかって君を見つけたのさ。自分で言うのもなんだ。
Yeah, but apparently her whole story is that she was actually looking for something else, and you just happened to be there, and then she just was like, I now want you. Also, agency office. Yes, if you couldn't tell by that, she isn't a detective. We'll get to what type of detective in a very few moments if we get to that point. If not, then on the next episode you get to find out what type of detective she is. What? You're gonna end the episode without trying to figure out how to fix all this? Yes, yes I will. It's called cliffhangers, baby. That's what cliffhangers are for. And she breaks the first trope. Don't worry about your friend, just worry about yourself, because you're screwed right now. And then also, she has the running theme of not introducing yourself when talking. I mean, hers is more excusable. Yugo, talking to you. Asshole. Kyoko. I like her character a lot. Although, speaking of which, she would probably be at number 3 on my list of best characters. She is not the number 1 character that I like the most. She is a number 3. With that, Big Cat is signing out. Peace, y'all.